Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Get Fit. My name is Desiree, this is Tam, and today we have a full body workout. And guess what? No equipment needed, you can do it anywhere, so there really shouldn't be any excuses. So let's get right into it. We're gonna start off with something a little bit more challenging. Again, test your stability, your balance, and one-sided strength. So we're gonna do a unilateral squat. So we've got a little box right here, but this is usually about the height of a chair or a couch, maybe a little bit higher. And what we're gonna do is pick a side. Let's start with the right side. You're gonna take that other leg just slightly off of the floor, and you're gonna stand up. And you're gonna find it's a tad more challenging. So we're gonna do 6 reps. So we're gonna come back to that seated position, balancing on that one leg. So you really gotta use your core. You might have to use a little bit of forward momentum, because this is really gonna fire up your glutes, your hamstrings, pretty much your full body. And if you find this super challenging, you can also hang on to something. So say you had a railing or a table nearby, you could just put your hand on that and use that as an assist. All right, let's swap legs. See if one's a little bit better than the other. Usually one side just a little bit worse, maybe a little bit weaker. And these are great exercises to help fix those imbalances. Because unfortunately, if we have an injury or a job maybe where we stand or lean into one side's gonna get a little bit stronger than the other. All right, 2 more.
2 more.
I wasn't counting, but that's what I'm going with. All right, now we're gonna take it down to the mat, or if you have a floor at home, whatever it is, a mat's gonna be a little bit more comfortable, and we're gonna do a little bit of a glute series. So fire up that lower body. So we're gonna start off with just your feet flat on the floor, knees bent at a 90-degree angle, right about hip width apart. And Tam's just gonna push her hips up towards the ceiling as she pushes those feet down into the mat. And we're gonna do this for 10. So lower them back down, lift it up, and lower. Pulling that core in tight, squeezing those glutes at the top. You wanna make sure you're not feeling it in your lower back too much or in your quads. If you're feeling it in your quads a lot, front of your leg, you might need to put your feet out just a little bit further away from you. If you're feeling it in your hamstrings a little bit too much, you might need to bring it in. All right, what do we got? 2 more?
That was 10.
All right, now keep it there, and we're gonna pulse in the top half of this movement. So we're not gonna come all the way down to the mat. We're only gonna drop about halfway, pulse for 10. Really fire up those glutes. There's 5, 5 more. Staying in that top half. 3, 2, and 1. And she's gonna keep those hips high. And we're gonna go right into a march. So keeping those hips high, and we're gonna march those feet back for 30 seconds. The butt should be on fire now. We like that feeling, don't we?
Love it.
So just picking up, lowering those feet, marching it all the way back. Let's go for another 10 seconds, keeping those hips as high as you can, fighting through that burn. 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's give yourself a little break there. Your butt cheeks are probably burning a little bit. So
Yes.
Now we're gonna take it up one more step, make it a little bit more challenging, and we're gonna do a single leg glute bridge. So what we wanna do here is have one foot cemented into the ground. The other leg is gonna be extended straight up if you can. If you can't, you can bend that leg just a little bit, but keep it elevated up off the floor. So same thing. She's gonna do that hip thrust up and try and get her hips as high as she can for 10. Good job keeping that core super tight. And see here that her knee is staying right over top of her toe, so she doesn't want to be going out to the side or letting it fall inward as she pushes up. She wants to keep that foot planted right on the floor, knee straight over top of her toe. All right, let's switch sides. Push it up. So see on this side how she's leaning out a little bit? She's gonna put her foot out a little bit more so everything just stays nicely in line. And a lot of the time if your knee's falling out or in, it has to do with your hips. So these are great exercises to help strengthen that. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Take a little breather. Let's stand it up, because we're gonna do that whole circuit one more time.
Oh, yeah.
From the top. So make sure you shake out your legs, maybe grab a little drink of water. Let that pain go away, because we're gonna come right back into that single leg squat. So if you find this very challenging to stand up, you can also keep your heel on the ground with that other foot just slightly in front of you, but you wanna make sure that it's mainly that supporting leg that is doing the work when you stand up. Gets harder the second time. Legs start to feel a little bit weaker, balance goes out the window. All right, let's swap sides. So these are ones you don't really wanna do super high rep. Keep it low, because they are gonna come fast and it's gonna get tough quick. All right, last one. Beautiful. Whew. And we're gonna take it back down to the mat. Run through that glute circuit one more time. So starting with both feet flat on the floor for 15, we're just pumping those hips up to the ceiling. So contract those glutes as tight as you can at the top. Hold that belly button in. And then think, push your shoulder blades into the mat as you drive your hips up. You wanna make sure your feet are staying flat on the ground, that your heel's not coming up or your toes not coming up. All right, last 2. And on that last one, we're gonna hold it at the top. And now we're gonna pulse for 10. First, we're gonna pulse for 10 in that top rep range. Top half of the movement, staying there. Short little contractions. 3, 2, and 1. You can take a little bit of a breather if you need, but we're gonna come right back and single leg for 10. So try and get those hips up as high as you can. Get that foot stacked right over top of your hips. Push it up towards the ceiling. 2 more. Last one. And swap sides. Bringing your hips all the way to the mat. Touching down each time. Driving that heel up to the ceiling. Good job. 5 more. Almost there. Starting to get tired. Last one. But guess what? We still got to do that march for 45 seconds.
Oh my God.
So
45
feet
seconds.
into the floor, and we're marching those knees up and back, trying to keep those hips tight and breathing. Take a couple deep breaths. This is a tough one, I can tell. I'm glad I'm not the one doing it.
Yeah. Got this. Easy.
Okay, you only got 15 seconds left.
Oh, that was fast.
Keep it marching back I might have been being generous on that one. All right, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch it out, shake it out. We are gonna take a quick little break and we will be back with a few more exercises.
Welcome back to Get Fit, and now it's my turn. So that last set was a spicy one. It was quite difficult. So now we're moving on to our next few exercises for our core stability. So I'm going to have you come down into a plank position. There are a few different levels where we can take this plank from. So we'll start from our level 1, our easiest level. So keep your core contracted. You want to make sure that your shoulders, hips, and knees are all in alignment. Try and hold your body tight, but not your breath. So nice big deep breaths in and out. Feel that contraction through your core. And if you'd like to make this a little bit harder, this is our level 1. Level 2, let's pop those knees up off of the floor. Again, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. You want to keep nice and in alignment, nice and straight. A common mistake I see with a plank is people will lift their hips up, yeah, just like that, lift their hips up, or they'll drop their hips a little bit too low, like that, you got it. All right, so we're just gonna hold Des here for a while. You'll notice your body will start to shake, might start burning up a little bit. We will hold for 10 more seconds, and then I'll give her a little bit of a break here. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So relax from that. Grab a drink, shake it out, do whatever you need to do. We're going to take this plank and add a little bit of movement to it. So what we'll do is we'll take that to a plank either from your knees or from your toes, and we'll rotate that shoulder up and over to the side and up to the wall. So you can pick whichever level you plank from, whether that's from your knees or from your toes. Yeah, and a nice rotation through the hips. Open up the chest. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Looks good, nice form. The further your feet are away from each other, the easier that's going to be. If you'd like to make that harder, you can bring your feet a little bit closer together or even stack them one on top of the other. We'll do 4 more. How you doing? 4, 3, last 2, and last 1. Shake it out. All right. So from this position, we'll take you into a tabletop. So hands directly underneath the shoulders and knees directly underneath the hips. Contract your core and focus on taking your right arm in front of your body and your left leg behind and out towards the wall. Just holding that balance. Hold for about 3 seconds. Drop that back down to your starting position and switch sides. So your left arm comes up, right leg comes up. Hold for 3 seconds at the top, not your breath, just your body, and return to your starting position. We'll do this 10 times. Nice and controlled. The slower you go, the harder this is going to be. There's 8. It helps to find a focal point somewhere in front of you that's not moving, something on the floor. We have 6 more. 6. Last 5. 4. 3. We'll do 2 more. And last 1. All right, we'll shake that out. We have another exercise from here. This is my favorite exercise of the month, push-ups. So push-ups, you can go from your toes, from your knees. I'm not going to give you a number. We're just gonna see how many push-ups Des can do. So, I don't know, what's your guess? I'm gonna guess like 40. I think you can do
full
40.
ones?
40 full ones, yeah.
Now it's a challenge.
It is a challenge, but keep in mind, this isn't a competition. Take a break whenever you need a break. It is good to set big goals like that, like 40. I don't even know if I can do 40, so we'll see. This could be fun. She can do it for sure. At any time, if these get too difficult, drop down to your knees. 1, 2, it's easier if you go faster at the beginning. 3. Keep that head up, chin, neck in line with the spine. All the way down, let's go. Are you counting?
14.
15. Easy. Be like Goggins. Separate your mind from your body. You're doing great. Keep your neck in line with your spine. This is good. See? That's what happens when you go second. Excellent job. How many was that?
32.
32, that's good. So now we have a goal. We have our goal set to 40. I won't make you do that again, but for those of you at home, I hope you set a goal out, put a number out there before you even do your first push-up. That's what I like to do. I like to set a number, 20, whatever it is, and see how far we get. So that's good, good one. Next up, this is a important movement for maintaining independence as we get older. This is a big one people struggle with, to get up off of the floor or to get up out of bed. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down onto the mat as if you were laying down on your stomach, and we'll roll over onto our side, and using your arm, we're going to bring that up into a push. So a tricep push up. This is going to work the tricep, and then we'll just bring it right back down. So as if you were just getting out of bed, we'll push that arm, hand into the floor, keep the core tight. We won't do too many of these. We'll do 6, 5, you can bring it up a little bit higher if you like, 4, getting tough, 3, doesn't look like much, but these ones are
Harder than it looks.
they're spicy. Last 2. And we'll roll over, do the other side. It's good to practice these on both sides. Want to even it out. We'll do 4 more.
Everything was different.
3.
The person had emerged from me.
Last
I could see
2.
myself in a perspective that I'd
And
never seen before.
last one.
No
All right.
ambitions.
Now we'll spin it around, laying down on the mat, make your body as long as you can. Point your toes to one wall. Keep your core contracted and reach your hands up and over the head. Might be able to touch the wall. Keeping your calves and your heels pressed down into the floor. Lift your arms up towards the ceiling, but hold here. Then use your core to sit yourself all the way up and slowly bring that back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Exhale as you bring that down, hands come down over your head, touch the floor, back up. Then use the core, roll yourself up, At first, this is a fairly advanced move, and Des is doing a great job by keeping her feet on the floor. You might not be able to keep your feet on the floor. If your feet come up off of the floor, if you need to use a little bit of momentum to get yourself up into this position, that is okay. That is still work through the core. You're still working hard to get there, and sometimes that's what we need to do. Think of this as a goal. So one day you can get to this point where your feet stay on the ground, and once we get to this point, we can add on a few more things to make this a little bit more difficult, but we'll leave it here with this. So we'll do 4 more. See the struggle. 3, and if those feet come up off of the floor a little bit, that's okay. Last 2. And last one. All right, now if you can, come all the way up to a standing position. You can use your hands. Do whatever you need to do. I do like to add those in at the end sometimes. Like you do the roll up all the way up to a standing position, and then you take it back down onto the floor. I won't make you do too many of those. If you do struggle with vertigo or you get dizzy, lightheaded after standing up from the floor, use caution with that exercise. But it is something I encourage you to do often, is to practice getting up on the floor and back up off of the floor. Work on that full range of motion where we touch the ground, hands up over the head, do some twisting.
Peace.
You got it. You can add that jump in if you like. And last one. So no equipment needed for this workout. It's a good one, it's a good burner. I was impressed myself at how hard some of those exercises were. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Get Fit. We'll catch you next time.